Hi, and welcome back. Today we will be visiting with grandmother, and it's at Wat Tam Krabok in Thailand, 1992 to 2004. But before we get there, we haven't had a visit from our male narrators for a long time, so they'll be with us today. And the excerpt that I'm reading is also an example of where my research kind of put me in another direction. When I was learning about the location of where the refugees were staying, I've discovered this other little tidbit about the area, which I'll be reading, and I think it's a really amazing place, and that's why it made it into the novel. Where are we going? Soldier asked. To the cave of teaching, I said. What the Christ is the cave of teaching? Raven asked. I was used to Raven and his colorful language, so I smiled. But Soldier never failed to react to his choice of words. Raven, he gasped. You mean to tell me, Soldier, after all of this time together, you're not used to my smart mouth? I'm used to it. I just worry about Monk, said Soldier. Oh, Christ goddamn, he's a big boy. Laughing, I turned to my two friends and said, I'll start by telling you about a nun's vision. The nun had gone to sleep. Time raced, inviting dreams to fill her head. When she woke, a flash of golden mane and a long tail ran by her window. She sat up. A lion ran by my window, she said. She wondered what he was doing at the temple. Where was the lion going in such a hurry? That's strange, she said, and lay her head back down. Then she heard a loud pop. Sitting upright, she watched as a flame flickered behind the wall. Golden sparks cracked underneath and licked their way across the ceiling beam. Then the fire suddenly stopped talking. She had waited for the wall to erupt in flames. It did not. She sat even straighter, stared harder, as she aimed her ear to the wall in wonder. No sound, no fire. It had been a dream, but it had seemed so real. Her body melted into the darkness, and a voice spoke to her. She was used to voices speaking to her while she slept. So she nodded and said, Yes, I'm listening. Good, the voice said. The voice told her that there were many people who needed help. The voice said that she would be given a recipe of 108 ingredients that would help cure addicts. The nun listened to the voice. It told her which barks, roots, and leaves she should use in her healing potion. This time, she did not return to sleep. Rather, she went to see her nephew, who was a monk, and they discussed a vision for the future of Wat Tam Krabok. The year the voice spoke to the nun was 1959. Its message helped to transform the Wat from a cave in the jungle with a few wooden huts to a modern community with buildings, 100 brown-robed monks, 20 nuns, and lay people. Fearful that the secret herbal recipe revealed to the nun would be misused, its composition was known only to the Wat's abbot and the medicine monk. Since its inception, over 100,000 people have sought refuge with the Watts monks and nuns who have dedicated their lives to helping addicts cure their disease. The Watt has a 70% success rate. Christ, that's good, said Raven. Impressive, agreed Soldier. What do they have to do for that kind of success? It's not easy, I said. I went on to explain. For addicts, the light has gone out. Consumed by the dark, hands grasped at their poison of choice, draining it down until it breathed false hope into their veins. Tiny spokes of hope were beaten down by despair that bred to a loss of self and hopelessness. The dark was winning, the light was dead. The addict was scared. Fear of his death had brought him to the Wat. Now he feared the Sanja. To enter the rehabilitation program, he had to take a sacred vow. This vow was more than a promise to quit drugs and to be a good person. He had made that promise before. He had been informed that this vow was the most important thing he had ever done, and if he believed with his whole heart in the Sanja, it would connect him to his willpower and beyond. The sacred vow would connect him to his truth. And this truth is what would help the addict cure his disease. All he had to do was believe. All he had to do was commit to a new life. Trust what would bring you to the light. All he had to do was listen to the whispers that would lead him to his truth. Holy hell, that's heavy stuff, said Raven. Addiction is heavy stuff, Soldier said. Christ, I'm glad we're not going there, said Raven. There's a lot of compassion at the Wat, the cave of teaching, I said. 3 friends in death, a raven, a monk, and a soldier, walked along a dirt road. Over there, said Raven. His hand pointed to a green sign with white letters. The sign indicated left, Hmong village, and right, Wat Tam Krabok. Tomorrow, we will go to see grandmother and how she's doing. Thank you for listening.